Good morning.
Good morning.
I've been seeing this big red heart in my meditation all week long. So I brought it. And I'm going to wear it because I want you to know how much I love you.
We love you too.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And your shoes.
And my shoes. I wore the right one. It's February. And I have a heart story. A few weeks ago, I went through a medical adventure. In one day, I was diagnosed with pneumonia, whooping cough, anemia, dangerously high blood pressure, and heart failure. I went home from that doctor's appointment absolutely reeling. I just shut down and I went to bed. Several days of doing nothing or almost nothing but sleeping. During that time, however, I did have some lucid moments, and mostly they were made up of why. Why am I having this body craziness? Why am I having this heart craziness? I've never had heart problems. What is my body trying to tell me? What don't I know? What should I do? What should I change? Well, intuition, you knew I was going to put that in here somewhere. Intuition came to my rescue and gave me some answers through a chain of synchronistic events. The first being my illness. I mean, you have to have something to start this chain of events. The second was on the day that I started feeling better, which was about the 5th day when I could actually take a breath without hysterically coughing, and the pressure in my chest had diminished some. I got up that day and went to the computer and searched on the internet for information about some blood lab results that my doctor had sent me via email. There was one in particular that was quite abnormal. It was called the BNP level. The words are actually about this long. The BNP level is a hormone in the blood, and when the level is elevated, it actually thickens the heart walls, making the heart work harder, and your breathing is much harder. Well, I stored this information, and then that evening I watched a movie with my husband, and this is the second, or actually the second, I'm losing track here, of the synchronistic events, one of the synchronistic events. The movie was a rerun of an old Star Trek movie called The Last Frontier. And the plot was where Spock's half-brother was searching for a god he believed to be at the center of the galaxy. Sadly enough, it turned out to be Satan. The filmmaker's version of Satan, which they blew up. And could it be so easily? The end of the movie is Captain Kirk talking to his crew, and he says, maybe God isn't out there. Maybe God is really right here, and he pointed at his heart. Well, this brought back an old 40-year-old memory for me of a time when I was searching, trying to understand God. And this is my next synchronistic event. I lost track of how many. The memory was of a, as I said, of a time when I was searching for God, and a very dear friend said to me, maybe God isn't out there. Maybe God isn't even in here. Maybe you are God. Well, all of this information kind of combined in my mind. And it gave me the last synchronistic event, which was a dream. I dreamt that I saw a heart, and I knew instantly it was my heart. But it was in me, but I was also standing outside of it looking at it. so small and so withered looking and pathetically lost and lonely. It kind of gave me this feeling of how I feel if I saw an abandoned kitten in need of love and shelter. And I instinctively reached out to touch the heart. And just before I did, I had this feeling come over me that this poor, small, withered thing was my heart. It was part of me. But it was also a part of the wonder and goodness of all it is. And it deserved better treatment than I had been giving it. It worked very hard for me, and I didn't even show it respect, let alone love. Just as I touched the heart, it started to grow, and it became whole and healthy looking, and then it continued to grow larger and larger until I was actually inside of it. And this marvelous organ of love and joy and health was just pulsing with life. And I felt this tremendous joy and freedom, as if I were the kitten, and the heart that held me was taking care of me. And all I had to do was acknowledge it. So why hadn't I been doing that? The answer that came to me was that I had a hidden belief about unworthiness. And this was a belief that I had had since childhood. And I had hidden it behind this thickening heart wall. And I had pushed it down so far that on the conscious level, I was no longer aware of it. But my body works off the subconscious level, and it was totally aware of it. And it took that belief seriously. So I took this belief out and examined it. And I found that it was full of flaws. It was no longer valid. I am worthy. I am a part of God. My heart is an individuation of the God heart. And with that awareness, I was finally able to release this old hidden belief that I had carried with me since childhood. At the moment of that release, I was healed. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was healed. I knew before I went to my tests, my medical tests the next week. Those test results showed absolutely no abnormalities. I am in perfect health. And why not? I live in a perfect heart. I want to give you one more image before I go. Just bear with me. Close your eyes for just a second. Put your hand over your heart. Do you feel that pulsing? Can you hear the pounding? That's God knocking at the door, waiting for you to open the door so that God can invite you in. Thank you. Have a great day.